How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. The Bengals, fresh off the name everybody's been looking for this free agency so far. La'el Collins has been signed to the Bengals. Now, starting to shift focus that the Bengals have kind of beefed up this offensive line, starting to shift focus back to the defense. The defense where we see right now Eli Apple slotted in to be the Bengals' #2 corner, and a lot of fans, a lot of Bengals, obviously, in general, trying to look to upgrade said position. Or Cheeto looking great. You love Hilton in the slot. But if you could upgrade the position a little bit or a lot out wide, it could really bolster up this defense. And we're talking none other than the multi-time All-Pro, the consecutive back-to-back Pro Bowler in Stephon Gilmore. Gilmore coming off a year with Carolina where he's just about $6.3 million on a cap hit. Really a great deal for the Carolina Panthers. For the Bengals, if you think you can get him, remember they still have the ability to cut Trey Waynes here to open up some cap space. Stephon Gilmore, the question being, easily a couple years ago, you said you signed this guy, no questions asked. Now, this is a guy that's 31 and a half years old. This is a guy that's had some injury woes these past couple of seasons. And it's a guy that did noticeably decline last season. We've seen his completion percentage allowed to opposing QBs bump up to 68% last season. We've seen opposing teams' QBRs bump up to 78 last season as well. So for Stephon Gilmore and his standards, that's up. And that's up substantially for him. But again, we have to mind who we're talking about here. We're talking about one of the most elite corners the NFL has had in the past decade. So even when Stephon Gilmore declines, he's still a really good cornerback in this league. Just for comparison sakes, Stephon Gilmore, his QB rating allowed last season was 78.6. But you compare that to a guy like Eli Apple, who, mind you, had a really arguably the best season of Eli Apple's career, and he still allowed an 86 on the QB rating last season. Trey Waynes, for the few games he has played for the Bengals, and this is the reason we're talking about an upgrade in the first place. No, I'd love to see what Trey Waynes could do if he could play a full 16. Fact of the matter is, he's been on the team for 2 seasons. He's played 5 games. And you have to consider the injuries, and you have to, at this point, consider moving on. That's why there's a lot of talk about cutting Trey Waynes in the first place. As much as you hate to see it, you brought over Trey Waynes, hoping he could make an impact with his defense, and the injury bugs have killed him. So you look to move on from the guy. Nonetheless, last season, Trey Waynes, yeah, that's not a typo, allowed a QB rating of 140 to opposing quarterbacks last season. That is close to perfect for a quarterback. Not good. So clearly, even as we was talking about, for Stephon Gilmore standards, yeah, he's not doing as high. For the normal quarterback standards, Stephon Gilmore is still a really good, talented player to have on your defense. And by all means necessary, if the Bengals can find a way to add this guy, you already talked about the potential bringing Osai back healthy this year. That's going to help out the pass rush. A pass rush that was really good last season. If you can lock down what I think is 3 really good defensive backs that in that situation where you keep Micah Hilton, you keep Cheeto, and then you bring in Stephon, that's going to make this defense take that next step, I think, next season and improve from what was already a really good defensive season. I am all in on saying go after Stephon Gilmore. You need defense to win championships. Bring this man in if he wants to be a Bengal. Love you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.